1. The connection between economic and political freedom. Friedman argues that political freedom cannot be maintained without economic freedom. In a free market society, individuals have the autonomy to make their own choices, create wealth, and engage in commerce without undue government interference. Economic freedom allows people to express their preferences and pursue their interests, thereby fostering political freedom and limiting the power of the state. The central idea is that government control of the economy limits both economic and political freedom. 2. The role of government. Friedman presents a clear vision for the role of government in society, emphasizing that its role should be limited to the protection of individual rights. He suggests that government intervention should be confined to enforcing the rule of law, protecting property rights, ensuring national defense, and maintaining a stable currency. Beyond these essential functions, Friedman argues, government intervention often leads to inefficiency and economic distortions, undermining individual freedom and the market's natural ability to allocate resources efficiently. 3. The importance of free markets. At the core of Friedman's philosophy is the belief that free markets lead to better outcomes for society as a whole. By allowing market forces like supply, demand, and competition to determine prices, wages, and production, resources are allocated more efficiently. Government intervention distorts these natural processes, leading to inefficiency and stagnation. According to Friedman, free markets encourage innovation, competition, and the creation of wealth, benefiting all members of society. 4. Monetary policy and inflation. Friedman addresses the critical issue of inflation and the role of monetary policy in controlling it. He argues that inflation is primarily caused by excessive government printing of money, and that it is not a result of external factors such as labor unions or wage demands. To combat inflation, Friedman proposes that the money supply should be controlled by an independent central bank and should increase at a steady, predictable rate. This would stabilize prices and prevent the harmful effects of inflation on the economy. 5. Education and school choice. One of the most influential parts of Capitalism and Freedom is Friedman's advocacy for school choice. He argues that the state-run education system is inefficient and fails to provide quality education to all children, especially in disadvantaged communities. To remedy this, Friedman proposes a system of school vouchers, which would allow parents to use public funding to send their children to private schools of their choice. This would create competition among schools, leading to improvements in education quality and accessibility. 6. The case against government intervention in the economy. Friedman provides a detailed analysis of government interventions such as welfare programs, minimum wage laws, and price controls. He contends that these policies often have unintended consequences that harm the very people they are intended to help. Welfare programs, for example, may create dependency rather than empowerment, while minimum wage laws can lead to job losses, particularly among low-skilled workers. Price controls, in turn, lead to shortages and inefficiencies in the marketplace. Friedman argues that such interventions ultimately limit freedom and hinder the economy's growth. 7. Global free trade. In Capitalism and Freedom, Friedman also addresses the issue of international trade, advocating for free trade as a means of promoting global prosperity. He believes that trade barriers, such as tariffs and quotas, prevent countries from realizing their full economic potential. By removing these barriers, countries can specialize in the production of goods and services in which they have a comparative advantage, leading to greater efficiency, lower prices, and improved living standards for all. 8. The moral case for capitalism. Friedman argues that capitalism is not just the most efficient economic system, but also the most moral. In a capitalist system, individuals are free to make their own choices, and the pursuit of self-interest leads to outcomes that benefit society as a whole. Unlike centrally planned economies, which require coercion and the suppression of individual rights, capitalism allows individuals to act voluntarily and create value through their own efforts. This voluntary exchange and cooperation is at the heart of Friedman's belief in capitalism's moral superiority. 9. The dangers of central planning. Friedman warns against the dangers of central economic planning, arguing that governments should not attempt to manage the economy through central directives. He critiques the experience of socialist and communist economies, which have historically led to inefficiency, corruption, and loss of freedom. In a centrally planned economy, the government controls key aspects of economic life, such as production, distribution, and pricing. This not only limits individual freedom but also stifles innovation and growth. 10. The importance of individual responsibility. A fundamental theme in Capitalism and Freedom is the idea of individual responsibility. Friedman argues that economic freedom allows individuals to make decisions that affect their own lives and the well-being of others. People are better able to make decisions for themselves than the government is to make decisions for them. By fostering individual responsibility, capitalism encourages people to be accountable for their actions and to contribute to the welfare of society. Conclusion. In Capitalism and Freedom, Milton Friedman offers a powerful defense of free market capitalism and its role in ensuring both economic and political freedom. His work has had a profound influence on economic thought and policy, advocating for minimal government intervention and the promotion of individual liberty. Through his clear and persuasive arguments, Friedman makes the case that a free market economy, rooted in individual freedom and responsibility, is the best system for creating prosperity and ensuring long-term societal well-being.